Let's talk about no free beats for a second. Most placements we got probably took 2 years of building with the artist before they even cut something.
Just give us the raw answer. Like, I'm a producer, I'm at the crib. Yeah. Like, how many emails, how many packs should I be sending a day? Should I be sending every day?
When I'm dropping a loop in, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the volume down on the loop so that the drums are forward.
A lot of producers would take, y'all already have good sounds and fuck them up.
We had our producer friends going, man, you better take that shit down, better call him and cuss him the fuck out, you know? I'm just like, most people think we're like from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Some people are like, yo, I thought y'all had like, we're black and had face tats and whatnot. And I was just laughing like, yeah, you can only wish, but we look like, you know what I mean? Like, for all the beat makers out there, we didn't get our first placement until I was 30 years old.
I was gonna ask y'all, like, what would y'all say helped y'all the most when it came to y'all career landing placements?
That's the most valuable thing.
You got a job. How do I balance job and how do I balance? All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This one different. I ain't even gonna lie. This one's super different. First off, man, y'all tell Mimi to get some goddamn NyQuil or some Pepto Gizmo or something, man. Mimi couldn't come today. She was sick, y'all. So it's just going to be me holding it down today. But this is still a special podcast because we got 2 guests on the show today. But on top of that, we ain't never seen these guests before. And when we do the camera reveal, I'm going to be like, you know what I mean? Let's do the camera reveal editor, man. Switch it on them, man. We got Bankroll Got It.
Shit. What's good, man?
Yeah,
Thanks for having us,
bro. Yeah.
Do people like know it's even 2 of y'all, or they think it's just one? Because I ain't gonna lie, before last year, I thought Bankroll Got It was one person.
Yeah, no one knows it's 2 people until they meet us in person. It's literally it's an everyday thing where like you tell them what.
Well,
yeah,
so we have our own studio out in North Hollywood, right? So, we bring artists. Pretty much all of our songs come out of our studio. So when they pull up, we'll greet them, let them in, give them the tour. They're sitting down. Introduce ourselves, whatever, and then we got our signs over the name, and then they'd be sitting there and they'd be like, "When's Bankroll pulling up?" And we just kind of like, "We just gave you the whole tour. What's going on?" And then they'd be like, "Wait, y'all Bankroll?" And they'd be like, "I thought y'all were some engineers. I thought you were the lawyers or something." And they'd be like, "The fucking lawyers? What the fuck?" But that's just like what happens every day, but it's kind of funny, And then people, hear the music, catch the vibe. We were drinking, having fun, and then
it's kind of like a little icebreaker when you meet the artists. And we always got Hennessy, we always have tequila at the studio. So then we pour up with them, and then it's all good. But it's like a funny thing to start every session that we do, pretty much, because no one knows what we look like.
Hey, I already tell y'all know how to set the vibe. They came in, y'all. This is, by the fan, let me, hold on. This is a special podcast. This is Drink Champs with Producer, you know what I'm saying? Drink Champs with ProducerGrind.
Producer Champs.
We got the Hennessy in here. We got special 808 sauce in here for y'all that's going to be like, bro, how they get the 808s like that? It's in the Hennessy, my boy. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But let me go ahead and get into the credits, though. So we got Lotto, Coil Ray, KSI, Future, 21 Savage, Thunder for Vegas, The Baby, Lil Baby. That's like 1/8. Lil Got It, Lil Key, Tink, Key Glock, Wiz Khalifa, Meg, King Von. I was going through them. Like before I do the interviews, because I live like an hour from here. Mm-hmm. So I put on like the producer playlist and just listen to them shits in the car. And I was like, damn, I ain't know these niggas made it. This shit so hard. That, man. Especially Do That by Stunner for Vegas. Oh, yeah. I remember before I was even ProducerGrind, just listening to that shit in my whip. And I was like,
that's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so hard, bro. Like, that shit, I used to have this 2003 Toyota Camry. And I don't know what the fuck they put in the speakers in the back. I swear to God, that shit was so rattling. That beat playing, bro, I used to, like, when a song's so hard, like, you can't even finish, you got to rewind that shit back. That's one of those songs I just kept rewinding back. Like, every 30 seconds rewinding, hear the drop again, rewind that shit back.
Appreciate that, yeah. That's one of the hardest ones we ever dropped.
Real Goats went crazy in that video, too. I remember seeing that for the first time. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, Real Goats. Shout out to them.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I be telling people, bro, Stunner, underrated artist, bro. Stunner, like, so hard, bro.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Fire.
Bro. So when I go through these credits, it's like, it's 2 things off top, like, when I go through these credits. And the first thing is, like, I feel like y'all a good example. Like, y'all literally proof of keeping the beat simple and not having too many elements in it. But at the same time, like, it's not boring. Like, when I listen to y'all songs and you really dissect what's going on in there, you hear like 5 to 10 sounds, but the beat is so full. And I feel like the biggest things that producers have is kind of balancing that. And the second thing is, like, just going through all y'all credits, y'all really good at like networking. Like, y'all have shown through y'all credits how y'all just could go through the whole industry and just really build relationships and knock out songs. So those are 2 things I really want to talk about for real.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk about maybe the beats, and then you can talk about the networking.
Yeah, but, for sure.
For us, like, so when we making beats, like, one of our goals from the beginning was really trying to catch a sound. You know what I mean? Like I think that's important as a producer. Like really, if you go on YouTube and you search your name, type beat, and you don't see nothing, you know, maybe you haven't found your sound yet. You know what I mean? Because your brand goes a long way. So, you know, and it feels good that people would come up to us with like, oh, bankroll type beat, or let me get a bankroll type shit, you know? And so early on, we decided we were experimenting with different sounds, different like cities, mixing them together. So we got a lot of influence at the time, like back 2018, 19 from like the Houston, Dallas movement, you know, and then mixing it with Atlanta. We'd come out here a lot traveling, just working with artists out here. And we kind of blended them together and kind of created what we thought was like the bankroll sound, like the Real Hood Babies or like Bitch from the South, something like that. So we thought it was important to just, you know, sound a little different than everybody else. So really simple sounds, like 1 or 2 synths, hard 808s, and then it worked, you know, and people respected that, you know.
Yeah, and the benefit of creating your own sound is one thing, hustling, reaching out to people, trying to get them to listen to your beats or whatever. But once you kind of create a sound, you'll notice a switch where people start hitting you up for your sound, and then you don't have to do as much legwork, like hitting people up, DMing, like doing all that, because people go to you. So that's one of the first things we noticed when we kind of like found our sound with Lil Got It, the Real Hood Babies, Lotto, Bitch from the South. Like people started hitting us up, and so that was a dope shift.
Meet me through this event. It was like an unbeatable 3-day event. It was like a camp, a panel. It was like a 2-day camp and a panel. And at the panel, she had this A&R from QC.
Is he Brandra?
Brandra.
Yeah.
And one thing she had said, I forgot what they was talking about, but she was like, she had used y'all for example. She was just saying how y'all used to just hit everybody up and get beats, and y'all just came different with the sound. And I just like that example that she used as far as like how y'all came with the drums and stuff.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, we really knew how important it was to like build a relationship in person with the artist versus just DMing, sending emails or whatever. So what we would do from the beginning, before we had any placements, we would go to every music conference. We go to A3C, we go to ASCAP Music Conference, South by Southwest. Anytime there was a conference with a bunch of music creators all in the same city, we'd go. And sometimes we didn't even have a ticket to the festival. We would just go to the shows around the festival and just try to link with people. But once you meet someone in person, they're going to open up your pack way more, especially if you like, I don't know, you got to like say something funny. You got to do something to stand out a little bit. But like once you build that relationship in person, they're really going to open your pack a lot more than just another number sending them some stuff, you know?
It's weird. It's like human interaction. Once you see a face, it's like, oh, I remember meeting them, then they open your pack. So that's, it's really important to get out there and meet people. Actually, I'll tell you a story. So A3C, when we got our first placements really from Asian Doll, right? She really put us on. Like we did 5 on our project when she signed to Alamo. And we went to A3C and we would look at the roster. We'd be like, all right, this person looked dope. This person looked dope, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, it was her and Q and together. Performing. So after the show, right, A3C pretty approachable. We would go to like the side shows on like Edgewood or whatever. That's the street, right? Edgewood.
Yeah.
And just walk right up to them. You know what I mean? Like get their email. So I walk up to Q and I'm trying to get an email to send a beat pack, and she's looking at me like I'm hitting on her or something. And she's like looking me up and down. It's like, no thanks.
Yeah, he tried to introduce himself. Like, hey, what's good? I'm this person. And she
everybody
was
started
like,
laughing at me. Like everybody was clowning me. I was like, bro, I just want an email. Like, come on.
Yeah, we trying to send you beats. Like that's it. Like you know.
But
so that was funny.
But it worked, and then we pulled up the next day, and just started working with Asian. And the rest was like history that really put us on. And then we met Got It through Alamo, and then that's how we got Hood Baby. So you just got to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's really like the most important thing. If you're trying to get from 0 to 1 placement, from 1 to 5 placements, you know, like the start is the hardest, because every time you get a placement, you leverage it. You leverage that placement. You tell people I did this, and then you can get the next placement. So meeting these people in person, we used to like go to shows, wait out in the cold for an hour, just waiting for the artist to come out the show, just to meet them, just to dab them up for literally 5 seconds, give them a pack, whatever it took to meet them in person, so that they put a face to the name or whatever. And like, that's more important than anything when you first starting.
Yeah, I was putting in real groundwork.
Yeah, no sleep. Like we didn't care. Like, you know, whatever it took.
The artists are probably seeing us like, oh fuck, not again. You know, but it's persistence. You know,
one thing with producers, man, you got to learn how your first shot ain't your last shot. You know what I'm saying? And second, you gonna get rejection, man. It just come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like
most placements we got probably took 2 years of building with the artist before they even cut something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I remember one of our first cuts with OT Genesis. We were hitting him up, lining his email up, hitting his managers up, everything for about 2 years before he cut something. So it's like it takes time. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of the luck of the draw when they pull up your pack and they feeling it, but you got to put in that work. It's very rare you're gonna meet someone the next day you get a placement. You know.
I was gonna ask y'all like, what would y'all say helped y'all the most when it came to y'all career landing placements? And the different options I have, is it collaboration? Would it be A&Rs, DM / reaching out, engineers, or like anything other that I missed? But out of those things I just said, what would you say was like the most beneficial to y'all career?
I would say artists for sure. I mean, you're going directly to the source. So most of our placements come from that relationship. But I mean, a lot of times too, we have us hustling with the artists, building those relationships. We have our manager, Sean Mula. He's over there. Does a great job of building with the managers and the A&R. So we can kind of hit him from both angles. Sean sets up a lot of sessions, probably 50% of them. The other 50% is on us to keep building with the artists, keep lighting them up. When, you know, we're almost like stalking people on Instagram, seeing who's in town, then trying to light them up, say, come to our studio, it's free. You know, it's our spot. We have our own engineer. Just pull up and let's work, you know. So, and it worked because a lot of times, you know, it's hard to book studio time last minute. So they're, all right, well, we fuck with Bankroll anyway. Let's just pull up on their spot, you know. And then that's mostly how we get our placements.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, going direct, especially when you're coming up, like these artists, they looking at their DMs. They really on social media and stuff, and they're not so busy that they're not seeing a lot of stuff. So you're like going direct to them, nothing better than that.
Oh, so DM shit still.
I mean, let's be real. They looking at your shit. Just they decide, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you got to bring it too. You know, like so you got to like the sound got to be hitting like when they finally do listen to it. But like you said, like the first time doesn't have to be, you know, the final one. So even if, you know, your sound not there, the other real important thing is to really like try and be in a room with other people, because like a lot of people be producing at home. You think it's hard, and then you play the beats in front of an artist and their homies or whoever in the room, and then you read the room, and then you see, oh shit, I thought this one was hard. It's not, and you could tell why when you reading people like, you know, how they vibe into different records, and then you go back and you adjust. So without being in the room with these people, it's really hard to grow. So that's like one of the most important things, because we learned a lot. Like we would have our favorite records, play them, and the room was just flat. And you're like, damn, okay, I thought that was hard, you know? So you just gotta.
We're usually looking at the friends of the artist or whatever to see what they vibe, because artists are kind of, you know, weird, and they're the ones having to record, so they're going to pick whatever sometimes what's easiest for them if they're somewhat, you know, nervous, new spot or whatever, you know, but their friends will let you know what the hit is, you know what I mean? So I'm usually watching them like, okay, they fuck with this beat, but then they'll be like, come on man, cut this, but then, you know, the artist will pick whatever, so you're looking at him to see what he picked, but friends will tell you what the hit is, you know, because they're the listeners, you know.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I learned that the hard way, because I was one of those types, like crazy, like I'm at home making the beats, 808s, twerking in the beats. I'm talking about you got these crazy experimental 808s, hi-hats look like, if you pull up the piano roll, hi-hats look like, goddamn, they look like the shit, like the roses right there.
Like an art piece. Yeah.
So I'm doing a writer session at Main Street, and the beat's hard, but I did like this 808 switch, and it went to this experimental goddamn.
We be doing that too.
AK-47 type 808, you know what I'm saying? And she had put the headphones on. You know, the funniest thing about this shit is like how artists will communicate what's going on. Like they'll be like, hey, what's all this space or something? Whole time they're talking about reverb.
It hurts your soul.
Like what the fuck?
What is that?
Yeah.
And then people start busting up, and you're like, oh fuck, all right, I'll play the next one.
Especially when you're doing something experimental, you like waiting for that part to come in, and then you could see like, are they fucking with it or not? Like
someone will shout, man, turn this goofy ass shit off.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah,
shit.
That would hurt. She was like, man, we can't use it.
But here's the thing though, it's like how we do like packs when we're playing for them. You do 3 safe ones, you know. And you owe it, at least us. And the way we look, too, it actually makes it easier, because we could pull a wild card one like that. Usually the wild cards are the singles, right? So you'll play the safe ones. But, you know, the way we look, is like, I'll play a wild card, and then people laugh. I'm like, oh, man, sorry, man. I'm just trying my best, you know? And just move on, just like fucking around. But you could try it. That's always the single. When they cut it, though, usually that's a smash. But
it's even like...
Gotta test.
It's even when sending a pack, like by email or whatever, like you send, let's say you send 4 that you really think they're gonna fuck with, and then you send one more that you just think is really hard that might be a different style than what they're doing, and that might be the one they pick, you know, the wild card one, because artists are artists at the end of the day. They're trying to do something new. They're trying to like at least like the mature artists who are really trying to like have a different sound. They're gonna sometimes go for that wild card one, you know.
All right, so 2 things I want to like follow up on what y'all said. First thing, reading the room. When you're playing that pack,
Yeah.
I had to learn this shit, but like, and it depends on the situation, but kind of like when you're playing the pack, do y'all just stand there and just let the beats play and just, you know what I'm saying, vibe out, or do y'all kind of like give directions like, oh, I can hear this, or I can hear this, like kind of point me through that process?
Sure. I mean, in the beginning, obviously, as we were coming up, you're just nervous as hell for any artist. I mean, I remember playing beats with my hand was like shaking, playing the fucking on the phone or something, you know. But as you get comfortable, you know, and then you get, you know, more credits and establish yourself, like, yeah, you start to give them ideas, or like, you know, I'll say something like, oh man, this would be crazy if you do like this, and I'll play it. You'll set like the angle before you play it, and then you know that helps a lot. But even you'll tell the manager before the artist comes, you go, this would be crazy. You play it for them before, and then if you get them on board, they'll push the artist to do it. But yeah, you know, you got to do that. You got to sometimes give direction. I think the best producers are really pushing the artists to do the ones that they think are the best for their career, you know?
Yeah. Or maybe you heard something on it like, yo, if you sang on this one, like, and maybe it's a hard, like it's like let's say it's a hard beat. Maybe if you came on it like singing or something, or you had a vision in your head, it helps to communicate it, because they might not be thinking about something like that, or the opposite. If it's like a melodic one and you just came like super hard on it, like it doesn't hurt just to say it out loud and just see, you know, what they think about it, you know, if you have a vision on it.
For sure. I ain't gonna lie, I was in this session when this, like when I first moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
My manager just throw me in shit.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
I ain't know really too much what the fuck be going on, but I just remember one time I was just standing there playing beats, and nigga looked at me and nigga was like, bro, sit down. So he was like, bro, sit the fuck down. So I standing there, bro, and I was just like, damn. At that moment, like, damn, I'm going out bad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're another thing where it's like, when you first coming up, you don't want to do too much, especially if you're working with artists that record all the time and you kind of new in the game or whatever. Like, you got to like maybe sit back a little bit.
Yeah,
you got to
true.
kind of grow with it. Like, you know, you don't want to give too much advice, be like, when they're recording, try and like change things or anything. Like, you know, you got to kind of like grow into that a little bit too. So like some people, they be like, I'm a real producer, and they go right in. Like over time, you could do that more. And then like, you got to sit back, let the artist be the artist, maybe as you like starting, because, you know, you want people to fuck with you at the end of the day. So,
it's,
you know,
it's tough to
it's a balance.
That out.
It's a balance.
There've been many times that we try to suggest something, they're looking at us like, nah, I like it the way it was. You're like,
yeah, and you're like, cool, yeah,
you know?
all right, I'm done. You know, like I'm gonna let you
some
do
people
your
like
thing.
they'll keep going on, nah, bro, I swear, blah blah blah. Then
See,
there's
then
like,
they
man,
doing too much,
this
and then
guy
they never
funny.
gonna
Like,
work with that artist ever again. You know what I mean? So you gotta like play it right where they want to work with you again. They gotta like you as a person. So if you doing too much in the room, that's probably the last session you're gonna have. You know what I mean?
All right, so y'all was talking about emails earlier, and just give us the raw answer. Like, I'm a producer, I'm at the crib. Like, how many emails, how many packs should I be sending a day? Should I be sending every day? Should I be sending once a week? Like,
I would say one. It depends if you know how you're
Depends
saying.
how many
Like
you
the
making.
artists don't even know you. You just line them up.
yeah, I got the email, so I'm just
Oh,
Got
yeah.
the email, yeah.
I'd say once or twice a week max, and then your subject gotta have something that catches their attention. You know,
for real.
not on some corny shit. I see loop guys sending us wild ass emails. You know, this guy would be like, "This loop trash," but check the other ones, and you just look at the subject. It's kind of funny, but you're like, "Nah, it probably is trash." But
Hey, so those shits be funny though, cause
it'd
like,
be funny
it'd be
though.
funny,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
one nigga sent me loop, bro, and had the name of it was Porn Stars, bro.
Yeah, you gotta respect the hustle though.
mean,
Like we
yeah,
did say,
I'm
but
not
like
mad at
what
it.
we would do would be like Bankroll Got It pack parentheses produced Hood Babies picture on the south. Just name like two of them, you know. And then a lot of times, luckily for us, like the Hood Babies was a record that helped us. A lot of people fuck with that record, so like like a lot of the artists that we would hit up would see that and go, oh, and at least they'd open it. I mean, another thing that probably should talk about, we'll talk about, is that, you know, a lot of people have the email trackers or whatever, so you can kind of see who's opening what, you know. It is what it is. It's
I
a
don't
hustle.
even care. Like if I want to open an email 5 times, that give the loop maker that info. You know,
But
good. He deserves
it's
it.
useful though, because you could track it and you can look like, all right, if the person just opened it don't mean shit. But if you see them open it like 4 times, you know, that either meant they forwarded it to somebody or they keep opening it back. And you're like, okay, they're fucking with that pack. Let me send another one and just kind of watch the tractions. You can kind of tell who's fucking with you and who's not. And it doesn't mean they're going to get mad if they don't open it. It just means, okay, I haven't built enough of a relationship with them. They're not fucking with us yet. Let's try something else. You know what I mean?
I fuck with it. That's on goddamn psychology type.
You know? I used to do sales, so actually that helped me the most because when you do sales, like you really learn how to approach people, right? So, for example...
Well, you gotta take a step back. So before we started producing, so like we had real jobs, right? So like we had full careers and everything. So we were making money that we applied to the music industry, you know? So we would fly down to LA, Atlanta. We would have to book full studios. We had to out of pocket. So like,
and we still be going broken in debt, but we use any money that we were making all for music.
So what jobs y'all was working at?
So, I mean, we both went to college or whatever. So I was doing like construction management. He was doing sales. So, but that's the most valuable thing. So we literally, when we switched to music, we applied all of his sales knowledge into the music industry. We were tracking things like when we talked to people, you know, when we emailed people, like who we targeting, like we really treated this like it was like some business sales, and that kind of gave us an edge. We're older, you know, so like we had some more experience in comparison to maybe some of like the young, like 17-year-old kids who are just, you know, getting into it. So we really approached it like it was like real sales, real business, you know?
Yeah. And so, for example, right, in sales, like, let's say you want to meet an artist, or let's say a manager of an artist, right? So usually, you know, I think you probably do the same thing, right? You target sometimes the managers, DJs, friends who are around the artist, right, on Instagram or whatever. But what you got to do, so a lot of times people will be like texting them, yo, bro, let's work, right? Or something. It's just like terrible text, right? Because you see that and go, nope, you know? But I would send something to him like, hey, man, we in the area, we're in LA or in Atlanta, whatever. Can I just pull up and introduce ourselves, man? We'll leave right after that or something like, you know, something simple. Maybe not like that, but like, let me pull up for like 5 minutes and just, you can meet us and then we can chop it up for a second. They're kind of like, all right, that's not too threatening. You know, they're not going to waste my time. I can at least meet these guys and then they'll dip. And then they feel comfortable. They're like, all right, cool. And then by the time you get over there, they're like, all right, they're already here. Let me just hear some beats, you know? Then you play some beats and then the artists happen to walk by. And then you meet them, you know what I mean? So you just got to figure out ways to like not put stress on people because we're all busy too. Like if someone producer hit you up, right? And he's like, yo, man, let's lock in tonight. You're kind of like, well, I already got a session. Or like, but if he just said, yo, let me just pull up and just drop off some loops, you're like, cool, that's fine, you know? 15 minutes. You know,
it's like non-threatening things. Like you're not asking for favors, you know, like if you don't know these people, how are you going to ask for a favor? They don't even know you. You know what I mean? So like they're going to ghost you every time, you know, but if you providing value to them and like in like a non-threatening, easy way with their lifestyle, like I'm going to pull up on you and just drop this off and then I'm gone. Or like, I already got a studio booked. Just pull up, send your manager, whatever. Anytime you get a chance, like we here for this time, grab a pack, like make it easy on them where you not like asking them like, hey, let me do this. Let me go to your thing. Let me play beats for you. You know, it's like you doing too much. Like they don't need you. You want them, you know, they don't need you, you know? So like you got to open the door for yourself.
Hey man, I do this thing when folks be speaking game, I say that's a real, you know what I'm saying? That's a real.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a real game because like that shit don't work, bro. Like, yo, I don't say yo, let's work, but I'll be like the simple shit like, yo, can I send some beats or some shit in the DMs to like a manager or something, and like you just won't get that applied, but just y'all saying like just having a different approach and shit.
Yeah, and you experiment. You try different messages, you know, and the ones that work, you start doing that more, you know.
And then once you build your credits, at this point, we might be able to send a DM and be like, yo, can we send beats? And that's it. But they go to our page, they see that we got credits, they see who we're working with.
Yeah,
now
we can DM, yo, let's work, and it works.
Yeah,
but
now it's easier, you know, but like coming up when you don't have that background, then you can't really say that, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so we gotta get to the come up story. Like y'all talked about it, like working with Asian Doll, and to where y'all are now. So kind of just like start from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touch on it a little bit. It's like really like, so we had real jobs.
Where y'all from?
So we from the Bay Area. So we brothers, by the way. So same mom, same dad, brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a little brother a third one that was like started.
Our younger brother,
like I've been producing my whole life, you know, and I'm older too. Like for all the beat makers out there, we didn't get our first placement till I was 30 years old, right? So y'all crying, oh, you know, this is hard. Like I've grind my whole life.
He's been making beats since he was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying?
So you got to really put in this work. You got to be a psycho with this shit. Like you got to really do this if you're broke for your whole life. You know what I mean? But you know, I had a situation before with other producers, and like it just didn't work. It didn't work out. You know, like for whatever reason. Little brother used to listen to like rock music, and he started listening to Waka Flocka, so he just started making beats just for fun. And I already quit at that point. I was like, man, you know, you're depressed. It didn't work out. And I was like, damn, like he's actually pretty good. He's a smart kid. So he started making beats, and I was like, all right, well, now I know sales. Let me just fuck around and just see what happens. No stress, you know. Let's keep it relaxed. But and now I know how to approach people, so let's just send some shit out. And Taylor was always fucking with beats like here and there. While
I was like off and on, you know.
Yeah. So we started to travel. So shit started to kind of work itself out. And our last name is Banks. That's why we're called Bankroll Got It. So everything started to make sense at this point. You know, like when it feels right and it makes sense, you're doing something right. So Taylor loved to travel. You know, we were, younger.
We just loved to hustle, you know what I mean?
Hustle and travel. And Taylor was sick of his job.
I wasn't even making beats at the time when we first started traveling, like going to LA, shopping beats. I just wanted to go with him. I didn't know if I was going to be his manager or if I was going to make beats with him or whatever, but I just wanted to go with him and like hustle, you know?
Yeah. And our little brother didn't like to travel. He liked the comfort of his own home making beats. So Taylor goes with me. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. You ever been to Atlanta? Let's go to Atlanta. You know, boom. We just use all our money we can, fly out there, and we would just approach artists, and then we go to South by Southwest. Same thing. Save up all our money we booked studio time the whole weekend, which is expensive as fuck. Way more than what we were making, but we did it. So we had a studio in every city we went to, and it didn't matter who would pull up. We'd just be like songwriters. The lowest artists on the roster. It didn't matter. We just work with people. So eventually we started to build up credibility. And we'll get into the free beats thing, but we would give people, our free beats. Like just boom, use it, put it out, put our tag out there, even with Asian though, everything we did with her was free until she got signed. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we got our tag. So people started noticing our tag at the lower level. And we go back, what sucked, then we go back to the Bay and have full-time jobs. People are like, oh, shit, you still in town? Pull up at noon. And we're like, oh, fuck, we're at our job right now. And it ended up getting to the point, and after we met Sean and whatever, where I was getting more calls at work for music than I was from, my job. And I was like, fuck, man, like, this is, like, bad. I'm, like, taking calls for music at work. Shout out to my work. Don't, my bad. Yeah. But, it's like, we gotta do this full time. And Taylor was already pressuring us to go, we gotta really do this.
Yeah, because once like the Real Hood Babies came out, because we made that from the Bay Area, sending it out or whatever. Like
actually, Sean hooked that up.
Yeah, our manager Sean hooked that up. So once these songs started coming out, people were hitting us up like crazy, and I was just like, I was pressuring him like, yo, I think we're gonna miss our wave if we don't really quit our jobs, go to LA and do this full time. So I probably pressured him for probably like 8 months to a year until he finally was like, all right, let's do it.
Finally, all right, it's time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's backtrack a little bit. One thing that producers, I say, is one of the biggest struggles is you got a job. How do I balance job and how do I balance?
Yeah, and first thing, having a job is not a bad thing. No, these motherfuckers be like,
don't get too close to the
sorry.
mic,
Well, I had to make that point because people are scared to have jobs, and I get it. Like some people go all out, move and just make it work, and I've seen that too, so it works. But having a job gives you more freedom to then book the sessions. You can line it up for the week. You have a little bit of bread. You can rent a studio and get people. Having the studio is the biggest key, because when artists can pull up to you, they don't have to spend their own money. They don't have, it's free for them, so they're gonna want to work. So a lot of artists just need studio time, and as long as they can work on your shit, then it's a win-win. So having a little bit of bread on the side is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, especially in these cities, like the big music cities, LA, Miami, especially like if you are moving to these cities and you only doing music and you not ready in terms of financially, like if the money not coming in, you gonna have to move out probably in like 6 months, you know what I mean? So like you really have to keep that job while, you making beats. So like have your day job, make beats at night, whatever it takes until you got to transition once the money starts coming in enough that you could survive. Because these cities aren't expensive, especially LA and Miami, especially. Like you really have to like decide to quit your job at the right time, because people will be doing it too early, and then they so strapped that they pressure an artist that like, you got to pay me this, like they're pricing themselves out of these songs. Like, you got to have enough bread for yourself to survive, give people beats for free basically, like, or else like, yeah, you're not going to survive.
One thing I kind of learned is like, you ever like get in a situation and it's like, or like you'll like fantasize about this situation type shit, and it's like you'll have worries and stress and shit, and then when that situation happens, like, oh, shit wasn't that bad. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
That's how I felt about my shit. I used to work at Lowe's.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I got fired. And the way they did it, bro, they did it like a week before rent on the first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tripping, bro. I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm like, bro, what's going on?
Yeah.
At the time, I used to engineer. So I was like, and I'm from Virginia, so when you working at a studio, you got like clientele, but it's not like here where you could be booked out all day you want to, or like LA or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck, bro. Like, I really don't want to get another job, but at the same time, am I really going to pick up like a lot of clientele, engineering and shit? So I'm just sitting there thinking about it. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to just go like full on. And like the best thing about the situation was the main engineer, this nigga called me. He was like, I'm going on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
He was only supposed to go on vacation for a month. He only went on vacation. He actually he extended it. He didn't come back till May, and this was in December.
Mm-hmm.
So like it worked out perfectly for me, but just me like not having a job and kind of just figuring out. I calculated that shit. I was like, all right, this is my bills. If I divide this by 30 days, this is how much I need to make a day. If I'm lazy, this is how much I need to make a week.
Yeah.
So like just shit like that, and it's not. I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't want to say just throw your whole self out there. Like, don't be that dude that's like. You in the negatives, bro. You got credit that and all that shit. You just throw it's like, fuck it, I don't need no job. But at the same time, like, just have like the discipline and know how to, you know what I'm saying? Know how to do the groundwork and know how to move. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And shit happens for a reason. Like in your life, that should happen at the right time. You know, sometimes life will just let you know. You know.
I mean, on the come up, like, you not getting sleep. You know, like because you working your day job, you making beats at night. You know, you sleeping, then doing it all over again a little bit. So like. You really you're hustling, you know what I mean? So like, especially him, like he probably I would say 3 to 4 years in a row, he probably had 4 hours of sleep every night.
It was
you
brutal,
know what I mean?
but I mean, you put your body through it. But in the beginning, I mean, work-life, what people call it, work-life balance is important, but not when you're hustling, bro. People are outworking you every day. You really gotta. It's almost like music gotta kill you to the point where you want to give up, and then shit will start happening. You know what I mean? Like you really gotta give it all. If you don't giving it all, if you're not like, man, I can't even take another day of shit, that's right when the opportunity happens. You know what I mean? Music's not easy. So you really got to you got to be a psycho
music will
with this
put
shit.
your back against the wall, and then something good will happen.
People would be like, yo, have you seen the new HBO show? No. I can't have time to watch a show. What are you talking about? You know, you really got to put that work in.
Yeah.
And then once you get the credits, you can relax a little bit, you know?
I seen this quote. So I've been working out and shit, trying to lose weight. I seen this quote, and it said, I'm trying to quote it exactly how I said it, but it was like, you want results, but results don't really give a fuck how you feel.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They don't give a
Like,
fuck about you. The industry don't give a fuck about you. Yeah.
There's a million producers out there. It's a hobby. Let's be real.
It's really
Let's talk about no free beats for a second.
Let's talk about no free beats.
I see it on your laptop, right? So here's our opinion, right? So as you're coming up, what is a beat worth, right? As you're a new producer, it's a hobby, right? It's worth nothing, right? So a lot of times I feel like producers will, and don't get me wrong, the music business will fuck you over, and or at least people think that coming up, and like you got to protect yourself or whatever. But I see so many producers that don't have any credits or anything, like blowing opportunities because they're trying to charge indie artists like $3,000 for a beat, right? And it's like your beat isn't worth anything. Like, you know, you could be the best musician in the world, but if you don't have a brand, you're not worth anything. You know what I mean? Like literally, there's a million beats on the internet. So a lot of times, you know, we wish we could tell up and coming producers like, bro, if you just get your beats out there and people start seeing your credits everywhere, now you've built a brand. Now you can start charging $1,000. Or once you get to the major label situation with artists, they have to pay you. You know, the label has to buy your beat. You know what I mean? So get your name out there. Like, don't be worried about the small money. And I know it sucks. People, you know, every situation is different. People got to make rent. People got to do that. But you know, you're really going to blow opportunities if you're overcharging the indie artists who also don't have money. They're in the same boat as you. You know, I know the thing where people are like, oh, they got all these chains and they're having money on the gram and they're not paying for my beats. It's like, okay, well, do you want the credit or not? You know, the credit goes a long way. And then that's what we did. We got our name out there, and then people started paying for them. You got to balance it. Like, if the artist is up here and you're right here, give them a free beat. If the artist is right here and you're right here, you could charge them. You know, you just gotta. It's your value versus their value. Who's more important? That's how you charge. You know.
Man, give y'all real game, man.
So you could take that sticker off now. You know.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Nah, man, they sell well, bro. We got to keep going there.
Yeah, I know. I already know. It's a big movement. I respect to the movement. I'm saying you get paid for your beats, but you know, just be smart about it. You know, and understand your value.
I mean, we have a rule for ourselves. We're never gonna tax ourselves out of a song. So if we're, even to this day, if we're working with an indie artist or whatever, we adjust our price so that the song will come out. If you are giving them your price and that's going to make the song not come out, then you not making the right move, because that song coming out with your name on it is more valuable than whatever $500, $1,000, $3,000 is worth more than that, because you can take that one and leverage it to the next placement.
Yeah. It's a lot of times you can negotiate. All right, well, if I drop my price, then whoever this manager is that has a bigger artist, you got to get me in a session with him. You know, you got to just negotiate. You know what I mean? Like, drop the price, but they you know, in return, you got to get something that you want. You know, so it's everything is a negotiation.
Hey, well, I got the sticker on there, but man, I'll be free beats. Like, I'll be the type of person where I feel like credit goes longer than a little 5,000. And then I'm also the type of person that's like, I feel like as a producer, it's more money than just placements. Like, placements is good ass income. I ain't trying to say that, but I'm just saying, as a producer, especially in the time we in, you got kits, you got brand, you got YouTube, you got fucking services, you can do all types of shit. So if you just put yourself in I feel like it's easy as a producer to put yourself in a position where it's like, I could make money without placements, to where the placements money, I'm not sitting here trying to have a war with somebody over a 10K advance. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You never want to have war with people. Like, you want to do good business. Yeah, you want to make it happen.
You ever remember that shit? And then people move around. And, you know, I've heard many stories of different A&Rs and stuff like, I'll never use this person's beats because of their manager or whoever they were working with or themselves. You know what I mean?
They're
like,
taxing way too much. Like,
it's just one time and they remember that for life, you know? Even us working with certain people, they're weirdos in the studio. They're not coming back, you know?
Yeah, you just can't be difficult. You know what I mean? You got to talk to them. Be like, hey, what's your budget? What's your situation? You know, they might say, hey, I have an investor. This is like our budget. Or maybe it's like, I ain't got no one. I'm really doing this on my own. You'd be like, all right, I'm going to give this one to you. Like, set me up on the distro kit or whatever. Like, let's split it, you know, whatever. Yeah. Like, or maybe they got an investor, you know, like, so it's like, all right, well, you got an investor. What's your budget? What can we do? You know, like, you make it work, basically, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, we're not saying just give in to everything. You got to protect yourself. So there are situations where a label will give you a disrespectful ass advance fee, you know, and you gotta work with them. And, you know, luckily that's not our job. That's Sean's job. So he got to deal with that bullshit. But like, you got to fight for what's yours. But at the same time, you want to make it work. Try your best to make it work. Sometimes you do have to turn it down, but you'll always try to figure out the best deal for everybody. And that's
talk about the Lotto story.
Yeah. So okay, this is a good story. So
a Red Bull out there.
So Bitch from the South, right? To this day, our biggest record still. Like, so we were starting to figure out our new sound. We started to be in the studio and watched everybody gravitate to the same couple beats that we were making. So we knew that was like, all right, we got something here with this, right? So we sent that beat out to a lot of people. I think there was probably 3 or 4 artists that cut it, that wanted it, right? And so, which is a good thing, that, you know, it was already going to be a problem. But then Bitch from the South just dropped on YouTube, and we didn't even know, right? So one of our friends,
our homies just hit us up and like, yo, is this your beat?
This shit like, crazy. Like, I didn't even know you made this. And we're like, wait, what? So we go and look at it, and the song's already out, right? So, you know, at first you're like, oh, fuck. And you're thinking that's fucking up plays, you know, for
we
the
had
other
very
artists.
Little placements at the time. So we didn't have them that much leverage in the first place. But like, usually they should still talk to you about it or whatever, but they just dropped it.
So we had our producer friends going, man, you better take that shit down. Better call them and cuss them the fuck out. You know, I'm just like, you know, that's not really our style. We're not confrontational like that, but it's like, you know, we were like, that's wild. Why would, you know, and we knew Lotto already. We never met her in person at the time, but we had been sending her beats. So what would happen is we do what you were talking about, just shooting off random emails, hope for something stick. We already did one with her called Hate You, I think. So, but this was like a year later. So they're like, man, cuss him out, bro. Fuck that, blah blah blah.
Take the song down. Like,
So,
take the song.
We
down.
ended up, I'm like,
Everyone's
let me just figure out what's going on, So we messaged her manager, tried to figure out, hit everybody we could. Eventually, the label hit us. She was with Streamcut, and they were like, oh yeah, my bad. We were trying to track you guys down, but whatever. Blah blah blah. Here's an advance. Here's some paperwork. Boom. My bad, guys. Like, cool. Signed it. Our first platinum record.
2 years
so
later.
many motherfuckers
2 years
would
later,
have fucked that whole thing up. They would have been like, yo, fuck that, take that shit down, fuck you guys, blah, 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 Like, I know, you probably know a lot of motherfuckers who do that, right? They always just take everybody out to get them, It's like sometimes shit just a misunderstanding. And shit, even if they were trying to get us, we figured it out. You got to figure it out. We could have blown that song, And that's still the biggest influential record we've had in our career,
It turned into a platinum record. It's crazy. It just grew. It was one of those records that just kept growing legs year after year, and probably 2 to 2.5 years later, it turned into a platinum record.
We could have took it down just off our ego, So
Yeah.
that's a good lesson that we learned. It's just like, man, you really got to be doing good business and just really see the situation out,
So that's a beat I just sent through email.
Yeah.
Email
And of
shit.
course, we had to deal with the other artists, like, oh, you gave my beat away, That's another situation, but but obviously it worked out for the best,
But yeah, the point is, you want the songs out. The songs will do work for you. You want the songs out. You don't want to take songs down. You never want to take songs down, unless they doing some wild shit. You know what I mean? Like,
it happens. You get your beat stolen, and shit.
Yeah, but like for the most part, like it's a good thing to have your name on records that are out.
All right, what's good, gang? All right, so today I want to tell y'all about our PG Weekly VIP membership. First off, we all know when making music is very easy, but when you're inspired, it can get hard. I'm the first to admit it. I always need new sounds and new resources to keep me active when I'm making beats. Like, I need new sounds, bro. PG Weeklies is really about to be your secret weapon for staying motivated and consistently cooking up fire. All right, so when you become a member, you will start getting exclusive packs to royalty-free melodies, one-shots, drum sounds, presets, and more, and this is every Friday. And these packs are really one of my biggest inspirations to making beats every day and getting in the studio every day, because every week I'm getting new sounds. And these are not just old, random, used sounds. These are sounds that you get every week that the general public do not get. So these are exclusive sounds. Not also that, you will also be using the same sounds that we send out to our industry friends like Jetson Made It, Sunny Digital. Now we realize that sounds are not the only thing a producer needs. Another problem that producers run into a lot is not having a team or being around other like-minded producers that want to do the same thing you do. So as a PG Weekly member, you also get access to our Discord community. This is a place where you can network, communicate, and we have fun every day in the Discord server. This is a place you can really just interact with the producer community every day. You also get the opportunity to build a relationship with producers like me, Juco, Zens, and any other Team PG members, including CEO Dylan. Our team will help you stay accountable, productive, and growing through exclusive contests, feedback, virtual studio sessions, and just ton of interaction in the Discord community. I was in there yesterday cooking up. That shit was fire, and we'll be doing this shit from scratch. A lot of members has also got the opportunity to get involved with PG behind the scenes. That involves dropping kits with us on our site. It's a real great way to earn passive income. Okay? Alright, so when you join today, you will get a huge members only welcome pack. That includes melodies, drums, one shots, it includes everything, bro. Everything in this pack is 100% royalty free. That means you get it placed. Don't hit us. We don't want no shit. We just want you to be successful. You will also get access to exclusive video content, including our 2023 Bounce Drum Training Series. This is basically like your personal beat making mentor. It's gonna make you fly fast, basically. Check out some of these 5-star reviews from our customers, and go ahead and click the button below to become a VIP member right now. I'm gonna see y'all over there. I'm gonna eat some food and I'm gonna be in the Discord. All right, guys. So one thing I want to touch on is like workflow. I be saying this, but I feel like duos are like super underrated. For example, as a producer, you gotta wear, like, I'm gonna use me for example. I gotta wear a lot of hats. I gotta do interviews. I gotta set up cameras. I gotta make YouTube videos. I gotta make kits. Then I gotta go make beats, get in sessions.
A lot of work.
Nigga, my time management schedule is fucked up. You feel me? That shit whooping my ass. But y'all's like a duo, and I feel like y'all have more advantages because you have a role, you're good at this, you're good at this, and y'all could just work together. So kind of just like talk about y'all process and what's y'all workflow like, and not just with making beats, but just like every day.
So we be in the studio sometimes cooking up by ourselves. It depends on the situation. A lot of times we cook up together. A lot of times there'll be an artist coming in that night. Actually this happens a lot. It'd be artists. Sean has blah 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 coming in 8 p.m. Fuck. So we gotta each be in a different room, just cooking up as many beats as we can at the same time. And sometimes Taylor will send me a good idea that I'll tweak. Sometimes I'll send it back to him. So it's dope to like have an extra ear. But in general, just being a duo is dope because it's like you're winning together. It's kind of awkward, not awkward for at least for us. imagine if we had to travel to A3C and do everything we said by ourselves, like one person. Like, it would suck. You know, you're kind of more nervous, like not trying to go up to the artist by yourself. You know what I mean? Having to do a sidekick is like, all right, dope. Now let's go talk to them. Blah blah blah. You know,
we didn't know a single person in the music industry when we were coming out. We didn't have an uncle that was an A&R or this. We 0 people. So it was just us. So when we fly into these different cities and we got to go network and it's tough to do by yourself. So like that's why we were a team from day one. So like whatever money we were gonna make in this, let's just split it. Because when you by yourself, that is tough.
Yeah, you can win together. You can learn together. You know, you feed off each other's energy, feed off each other's ideas, and then at the same time, like we could split up. So what's dope is too, like we have a session in our studio and someone else tells us to pull up, then Taylor can go pull up or I can go pull up at that session while we're running another session. We're doing 2 at once, you know?
Yeah.
Just running the bag up.
Or like if we got a session that night, we're both like locked in or whatever. Like who knows which one is going to find the sound or whatever that's going to create the right thing. So we got 2 people channeling the same thing, you know, like we just got more beats getting pumped out, you know what I'm saying? So, puts us in a good situation that way too. We just like we have more time to make beats because we got 2 people, you know.
Tell y'all, man, we'll hit it with it again, bro. It's the all you need to know about the music business podcast right here. This the little course right here.
I wish we had this shit when we were coming up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, and we brothers or whatever. So like we, you know, we're always going to be a team. Like we could be a little competitive at times or whatever, but for the most part, it's like we both just trying to win. We don't care who started the beat, who made the beat, that gets the placement or whatever. We just both trying to win. So we both putting our best effort in to try and nail it with the artist, and then whatever happens, you know what I mean? But it just puts us in a better situation, you know? You know, if we got a session, if he was by himself, he can make only like 2-3 beats before the session. Now we got 6 beats, you know what I mean? So it just puts us in a better situation, you know?
Facts. It's just collaboration, workflow. People don't understand, bro. It's like so many tools out here.
Yeah.
Just like even going outside of that, like just the tools we have making beats. Like so much stuff you could use now where I ain't gonna say it's no excuse, but it's definitely not as hard as like 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
Definitely. And with 2 people, you know, we're brothers, but we're different people, you know. He thinks about music in one way, I think about it in a different way. So like it kind of expands our sound too, you know, like where now our sound could be more broad. Yeah. And eventually, well, I mean, we trying to do as much as we can in the rap world or whatever, and then maybe expand to whatever we can, you know, like we trying to be really like the next like Mike Will Made It or whatever, you know. So like it just puts us in a situation where we can tackle like anything musically because we got more, you know. Yeah, that's the goal.
So going back off the Lotto record, like after that record had dropped, what are like relationships or stuff that happened like after that led up from that though?
I mean, I'll be honest. Music business is like you get a record, people hit you up for a couple weeks, you know, like you're like, oh, you the next whatever.
They forget.
You lock in, you know, especially a lot of female rappers, you know. I mean, we got a lot of business from that, but still, and then it moves on, you know. So these placements don't change your life, you know what I mean? I mean, they do, but it's, you know, things are so fast these days. You gotta stay on it, you know. You cannot just like feel relaxed. So yeah, you get business for like half that year or whatever, and then it dies down, and then you gotta where's your next one, you know, and then you gotta hustle again and do the same thing. It's the same process every single year, you know. I remember our boy Cosign told us way back before we had any placements, like, you are lucky to get one song that hits Billboard every single year, you know. And to this day, you know, we get a lot of placements now, and we were proud of that, but to hit Billboard is really difficult, you know. And Bitch from the South only hit number 95, you know. So you got to think, and that was, you know, one of our biggest records. It's like the grind don't stop, bro. And, you know, this year we were really trying to get a bigger one. We're trying to get a top 20, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's a whole different level when you hit that, or, you know, getting songs on the radio. Radio is a whole different market than a lot of the songs that you think are dope. Like, you know, we would love to keep building with the artists we want to build with, but then sometimes it doesn't translate to radio. So that's frustrating, you know, because it feels to us like radio doesn't really translate to what's popping on, you know, like Spotify and everything. Mm-hmm. But you gotta adjust and you gotta figure it out. So that's what our goal is this year, is really trying to get some bigger records on the radio, but still build with the songs we like and artists we like to build with, you know.
It's interesting. It's like the growth of a producer is interesting. It's like at first you kind of like want to make the same generic records that everyone doing because that's what they want. The low artists want to pretend like the big artists, you know, so they trying to do that same stuff. So you got to kind of cater to that a little bit. Then you get a few placements. Then you want to kind of create your own sound. You got to separate yourself a little bit. So then you got to kind of create your own sound, like make yourself a little well-known. Maybe you can hit it. It's very hard to do it, but maybe you can do that. Now you in the game. You know, if you could separate yourself a little bit, now you're in the game. And then from there, you know, we've had at this point, we've had hundreds of placements, but like, you know, we really this year and in the future, we've reached a level where now we're trying to break into the A-list artists, you know what I mean? Which we really haven't fully done. So now it's like we got to think even harder of like when we're making beats, we're not even going to start a beat unless it's incredible. You know what I mean? Because like we're trying to tap into the special artists. Like they don't want to hear no regular stuff. You know, so we have to push ourselves.
Every idea got to be wild. You know
every idea got to be wild. So like,
and you got to have a hook on it, and you know what I mean. It's like there's a whole process to getting the big hits. You know. So
yeah, yeah. So we're in a whole different category at this point. If we want to continue to grow, we have to continue to grow. You know, we can't keep doing the same stuff, or we'll just keep doing the same, you know, streams that we doing right now, which is solid, but it's not. We never had a single song with over 200 million streams, you know. Yeah. We're trying to get big records this year, you know what I'm saying?
What Twin Them did?
Probably like, it's probably gold.
Almost gold, I think.
Yeah. Which gold is 75 million streams.
It did well
on all platforms.
It did well worldwide, so we're waiting for the US gold, but it did well.
Twin Them was an enormous record on TikTok, but at the time when it came out, TikTok was so new, there was no money in TikTok at the time. So we actually, at the end of the year wrap up, they called it the number 5 song in the international on TikTok.
We had two of the top records in the world on TikTok, but they don't pay you no money, so it's like, fuck.
We got no money.
That's great, you know. But
I mean, some of it translates to streams. It did translate to streams, but not on the same level. Yeah. You know, we weren't number 5 international on the charts, you know what I mean?
TikTok was one of our favorite records, so that
Twin Them, yeah,
Hennessy,
yeah. One of the best situations for us in our career, for sure.
So before we get into Twin Them, you had said something. You said like shopping your beats with hooks. Kind of want y'all to talk about that because it's not underrated. Producers know about hooks, but I feel like a lot of producers could use that more to kind of like secure relationships, secure placement. And I see y'all have a lot of records in collaboration with Hitmaker. So kind of just talk about that.
Yeah. So first of all, is like you really got to know the artist that you're working with, that you sending it. What's their process? You know, some people, they don't want to take hooks versus anything. You know what I mean? So you got to cater to that. Like you send them beats. Some people, they need the help, you know, so then they want that. So you got to have people in your network that can do that. So when you sending stuff, a beat is more of a dime a dozen, but a hit is special. You know what I mean? So if you can deliver a hit, you're going to elevate yourself 1,000 times quicker than just sending beats, you know, because then you basically, sending beats is like sending them to go do work. You send a hit, you spoon feeding it to them, you know what I mean? But that's hard to do. Songwriters are the same as like hit producers. They hard to find. Like getting a hit on your beat is hard. It's not easy. Yeah. So I mean, it really depends on the artist you're working with.
And at the same time, for us, we started with trying to make hooks on beats in the beginning, but it's like nobody's going to pay attention if you don't have a name. And then at the same time, it's like the artists come in, they're like, I don't know who the fuck this person is, so they're not going to cut it, you know. And a lot of the artists we work with, we're writing everything. They don't take hooks. But as artists develop and they get to a point where they're like, okay, now I need hooks. They understand they need hooks. Yeah. Then you can start shopping it to them. So, but now we're at a point where we're working with B-list, A-list, whatever artists that they all want hooks. And the A&Rs want hooks and stuff. So now we're trying to get that more. But even then, it's hard. It's hard to lock in all the time. You spend too much time with writers. You're not spending enough with the artists. You're not getting enough placements. And you know, and then if you spend too much time with the artists, they're cutting everything and you're getting a lot of placements, but not any top radio hits. So it's a balance. You know?
And with writers, if you're talking about rap, you can't just make a catchy hook. Like you really got to be able to talk in the same way that these artists talk based on the city they're from. You really got to like kind of know the artist. You got to be in the same circle a little bit, or else like it's not going to happen for you. You know what I mean? So like for songwriters,
so many sessions we're in there and the writers are like all huddling together. And like, yeah, shake that ass, girl. Da, 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 da. And you're just like,
yeah, the artists, they hear that shit all day. You know what I mean? Like
that's what you think?
No, you got to talk like they talk to their friends or whatever. You got to understand them. You know,
have a bar in the hook that's crazy. You know,
yeah.
It takes only, there's only a couple writers that can do that. You know, you know what I'm talking about?
Are you funny as hell, right? I try to hold my laugh, but now I know a couple of they get it. Shake that ass, and it just be like
the labels be putting us in. You know, oh, let's do a writing session, blah blah. Bankroll on this person, and they're just like, oh, what do you think Cardi B wants? Oh, shake it on, twerk that pussy down. You're just like.
Oh my god! Yeah. We're like, all right.
I'm looking at
Taylor like, we're like, when we done with this? Yeah.
I done been some writer sessions. I was like, bro, I know I'm finna get somebody else this beat.
By the time you leave, you already know. Like, we're gonna make another play on this one.
As hell. Somebody else getting this beat, bro. Not you, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, but then you asked about Hitmaker. When it comes to Hitmaker, we've done a lot of work with Hitmaker. We have nothing but positive things to say about Hitmaker. So Hitmaker and his camp, they're a machine. They're a hit-making machine. That's why it's called Hitmaker. Like they're delivering 7 to 12 hits every single day.
Yeah, so some of the best writers. Pulling all the beats all over the place, you know what I mean, and putting them together and just deliver. They're bringing the artists in and tell them this is your song, cut it. Like that's what producing is, you know what I mean. So we want to be on that level eventually as we like grow and sign more producers and writers and develop our own writers when we have more time. Like once we feel like our brand is there, we would want to do the same thing. And it's crazy to watch him do that and nobody else is doing it. Like why would you not do the same thing he's doing? He's a machine at just putting out songs on a daily basis, 12 songs a night that any artist could cut, and it's going to be a smash, you know? So
and every good producer, like, why wouldn't you send him beats? So he getting beats from every dope producer. So, like, in terms of, like, him making beats or him producing records, like, to be honest, it would be a waste of time for him to really just sit down and click all the beats. Like, he getting beats from everyone because his craft is making the full song, and then his other craft is pulling out the phone, FaceTiming exactly the person, whether it's the president of the label or the artist themselves, getting them in the room. Like he making plays that these producers can't do. So that's why everyone needs to send it to him. So like he's really delivering hits. So he really is like a producer by definition. Like he making full songs.
Yeah, that's what producing is. We want to get to that level too. You know, the same. Some people are doing it, but like he's a good example of just like how to really make it in this shit.
Yeah, shout out Hitmaker, bro. Yeah. That podcast we did with him, that shit was gems. He had a crazy story. Nigga talking about he got kidnapped and shit.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Hitmaker.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into Twin Them. Kind of like I know y'all ain't got the computer in front of y'all, but I don't know. So Coyle Ray's like she helped produce the record.
Facts.
I can hear it though, because it's not like when you listen to the beat, it's not like a loop. Like y'all
it's like a weird ass beat.
No, everything was built from the ground up.
So listen,
from scratch.
This shit is crazy because this shows how Coyle Ray's a fucking genius, right?
Yeah, she's a real artist.
If you listen to the record, I don't know, people maybe don't remember. In the very beginning, there's this weird like perk loop thing, right? It's like a percussion thing. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's in the very beginning. She cut front to back the whole record to just the percussion loop. There was no music at all. All the harmonies, everything she did just straight on a flat percussion loop, right? And we're sitting here going, what is going on? This is crazy. So she finishes it, and she's like, all right, let's get it. So she starts directing traffic. And, you know, it was us. It was our boy Diego Ab, DJ Swish, all in there. Someone was on keys. Someone was, I think I was on the computer with the drums. Everybody else me and Taylor going back and forth on the beat. Diego and Swish were playing the keys, and she would be like, organs, this, and she really was direct. It was like almost like a person with the orchestra directing traffic. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she was literally in our face, like, no, done, like telling us what to play. Be like, no. Like she was really like creating her own song. And then like our homie Swish, like he grew up playing in church
he grew up and playing in church, so he knew how to play the organ and stuff. So he was like doing all those like organ riffs and stuff, and she was like, more soul, like yelling at him and stuff, and he was just delivering.
It was good energy. It was
good
session,
energy. It was fun. Like it was probably like the most legendary session we ever had at our studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, she really created her own record, you know, with all of us there.
And it started with that weird loop. Like sometimes she just cut loops first, you know, and that was the weird. Like looking back, it's like, how did she sing harmonies on something that had no music on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the whole record was recorded on that loop.
All the vocals,
no music, all the
yeah.
shit was added after with her.
Bro, you know another dude that do that, Ty Dolla $ign, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro was like record. And he'll do nothing. He'll just record some shit, and the vocals be so stacked and so hard. You'll think like, damn, is that a melody the whole time? It's a vocal. You know what I'm saying?
They just got the vision.
I feel like artists should do that more, like, because you know sometimes artists don't know exactly what to say to communicate, but as long as the producer get it, I feel like the records would be harder. Cause I know Tusi, it's this video on YouTube that Tusi did, and he had I forget who the producer was. It's on his page. This shit like 2 years old, but he had used Arcade. Started fucking with Arcade and shit. And then he had made a melody, and then the producer kind of helped with the drums and shit. But at the end, that shit came out like super hard.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn.
I mean, we love when the artist is involved because they know what they are missing. They know what they want. So like if they could help create it with us, that's amazing, you know, because we're going to do what we think or whatever. But like they have a vision sometimes. Sometimes they come to us and be like, yo, I've always wanted to make a record like this. And they'll play an old song or something like that. Like, any sort of direction that they can give or whatever, like they're going to leave happier with the end song. It gives us like, I don't know, when you're a producer, like you kind of shooting from the dark a little bit. So like if they could tell you what to do, then it's a better chance you get a placement too. Cause it was their idea, you know, so they're bought in, they love it. You know what I mean? So it's always a better situation if they can come with some, you know, information like that.
I don't know if we covered it, but talk about like how y'all met Coi Leray for.
Shit, I think it's through Sean, right? Sean used to intern for Republic, so he interned for Saint, her A&R. So that just kind of, when she first got signed, we actually did a record with her like 2 years before, like No More Parties and everything came out. So yeah, we always just saw how talented she was. We ended up pulling up on her in LA one day to meet her, way before that too. So we always were just sending her stuff, sending Saint stuff. And then we built that relationship so she would come to our studio and we'd start working. So we probably have cut like 15 to 20 ideas with her. And, you know, the ones that have come out. But I guess we'd be locking in a lot. And our boy J-Rock engineers her, who we've known J-Rock for years. So, you know, he also brings her over whenever he can too. So
yeah. I mean, another gem is like, it's important to build the relationship before the artist blows. So like if you see an artist with potential that you think is special, and especially if they like going crazy on social media, you can tell that they really in it to win. And also they're creative. They're a real artist. Like you got to tap in early or, you know, when their first hit comes, you're going to miss them and they're going to go on. And then once a song pops, they're going to make their rounds with all the big producers that are all better than you, you know, so then you lost them. You know, so like if you could build that relationship early and deliver good records and they like fuck with your vibe, then they can hit that big record and you'll still be in the circle. You know what I mean? But so that's important too. You know, you got to catch these artists.
This is what y'all wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to like spit game, like gems or like what y'all.
I mean, to be honest, we just like helping people. To be honest, like because it's such a craft. Like the music is a craft, but the business is a craft too. And like it's just like the way we are. We like to help people.
You know,
and
I feel like a lot of, you know, you go to these ASCAP conferences and stuff, you know, no offense to the conference, but I'm saying, you know, people get up there and be like, yeah, man, you just got to hustle every day, man, and put in that work. It's like
be specific.
What does that mean? Like, tell us exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, what do you got to do, you know? So that's like what we think. We know what we did, so like we can like communicate what we did, you know what I mean?
All right, so I want to switch it up and kind of get into like the producer nerd stuff real quick.
Yeah.
So kind of want to dive into your production process and just going off y'all beats. Like, do y'all start with the drums first or the melodies? Or?
That's a good question.
It's really 50-50. I mean, like sometimes we'll go heavy into the melodies first and then we'll do drums after. And then sometimes we'll like notice that when we do that, the drums aren't hitting hard enough. So we'd be like, shit, maybe we should create some super special drum pattern and then just start dropping loops into it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, in this world, if the drums are hitting, that's what makes a special record. The music sometimes can be secondary, you know, like if you in a session with people and you got good speakers, good bass, and the drums are hitting, that's going to sell a record more than some incredible guitar. You know what I mean? Because these days with all the loops and like music available, incredible music is easier to access than super crazy drums. So, but still at the same time, sometimes we do melody first, sometimes we do drums first. But like, you got to make sure your drums are special if you want to hit.
A lot of times I'll have a vision I'm kind of weird when I produce. I'll be thinking of like a vision of, especially if an artist is coming in, I'll imagine what the single will sound like before I can make it, and I try to find music to match what was in my head. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird, and a lot of times I can't even do it, but I'll just have a special like idea of, okay, if it sounds like this, and the drums are like, you know, I'll be in the shower or something, like, I don't know what it is, the shower with the white noise or whatever from the shower. I come up with my best ideas sometimes, just getting ready to go to the studio, and then I'll go in there and be like, all right, I got to figure out how I'm going to make this in my head, you know? I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's weird.
The music sometimes is the mood, you know what I mean? Like what kind of mood are you trying to communicate, you trying to create? So like, you got to like kind of put yourself in the artist's shoes a little bit on like, you know, what vibe they're on, and like, the music has to like,
especially if you fuck with the artist, you're trying to think, man, if I was a fan, what would the next single sound like? You always got to think single, like what would that sound like, and then try to create that, you know. Not a lot of people go like, oh fuck, he sound like his last song sound like this, oh let me just make that. No, what would you want to hear him on? You know, that's what you got.
Yeah, kind of the way I think about it too is like, you know, every Thursday is New Music Friday on Spotify or whatever. Like on Thursday when I'm going through records, like, because we basically do this every Thursday, we go through all the different records. What would make me excited if I heard that new record from someone? And then like, as you're going through loops or drums or whatever, like, it's like, no, I would not be excited about that. You know what I mean? Like, so you think of yourself as a listener too, you know?
One thing I felt what you said, especially, was like kind of how like you reverse do it with the drums, because a question I had in here that a lot of producers ask is like, I do beat critiques every Monday, and the biggest thing is like, how do I get my drums to hit? And we was talking about this earlier before we started the interview, how it's like, we don't really mix crazy, we just level shit. But I want to know kind of like, do y'all relate to this? I feel like the less sounds you have, the more drums can kind of like punch through.
Yeah. And you can speak on that too. First thing I'll say is that, so in our FL sessions, we start with like a template of some shitty drums or something, just for levels. So when I'm dropping a loop in, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the volume down on the loop so that the drums are forward. You know what I mean? Sometimes the loop is so loud that your drums are behind everything. So that's the first thing I do, making sure all the music is low enough so that the drums are present. So that's all I want to say. The first thing.
Usually I'll start like the 808 will be like you'll turn the 808 up to the max that you can, and then mix, you know, level from there.
Yeah, right.
So if the 808's hidden, then everything else should blend in after that. You know, and then the snare, and then the hi-hats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get the drums sounding perfect, and then the music should fit in that pocket, you know?
And then when you pick in hi-hats and snares, you're really thinking about like, what sound is breaking through? You know what I mean? So some hi-hats, like let's say you got a bunch of music 808s or what, some hi-hats are feeling like they're behind everything. But some, then you keep going through different sounds, they break through, like they're in the front, you know what I mean? So like you have to find the right hi-hats and claps and snares that really like make themselves cut through, basically.
You know, another thing I hear, this day interview, they supposed to be dropping gems, but since we on the topic, a lot of producers would y'all will already have good sounds and fuck them up.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all would have a hard-hitting 808, but because you think, oh, I have to put fruity compressor in this.
Yeah,
How you fuck it up?
Squash it up and
Nah, bro.
That's another gem.
You know what I'm saying?
Or even the loop guys, man. Stop putting 50 million effects on your loops. Sound like a moody, boring ass. You know what I mean? It'd be building up and stuff. Just give us that smash melody. Off jump, you know what I mean? Like
sometimes the sounds
I'm
are crispy.
yeah, like it'd be like all moody and building up.
Portal.
It's like, you know.
We smack that on there, man.
Yeah.
Like, just I would love melodies with just one sound. Just give us a smash melody. That's it.
But this goes back to what it's like what we started with in the interview. It's like, because me personally, I feel like the hardest beats for me to make are simple beats. Only because
It's true.
It's the hardest beat for anyone.
I mean,
to make.
female rap beats are the hardest for us. It's like, even though we do it, it's like, man, how many times can you flip like an open beat like that and come up with a unique idea? You know?
Yeah.
It'd be hard. Yeah.
It's like, I've been trying to find a balance of like, because if I make a beat and it's like, you have to think, okay, what can the artist do to it? You know, the artist can do something to it, but you just sitting there and it's like, And Track and Field was one of those records, like, I was like, man, this beat so fucking, that beat was a beat from like, we made that shit like a year before I got the shit placed, and I was just like, the only reason why I played that, because they was running through the pack, so I'm just like, all right, let me go through these
You're
shit.
going like, man, I'm at my last couple, you know.
I was like, all right, so I got a couple more, so I was just looking at you with that dumb face, like, So I'm playing it, and she's like, oh, I fuck with this one. And I know Joy be hands on and shit, but I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Man? I just play all these crazy ass.
You never
beats,
know.
man, and
Probably looking back, you're gonna look back at that beat and be like, damn, that was a solid ass beat. The other shit I was playing was way too much. You know what I mean?
Way too much, bro.
Sometimes when you hear the record on it, you're like, oh shit, that was a smash. I didn't even notice. You know what I mean? Yeah. But tell them about the time it takes to like sometimes like go through loops. Like how much you be.
I mean, I'm a weirdo. Like, loop guys hate working with. Well, I might call them loop guys. Musicians hate working with us. You know, or at least me, because I just am picky. You know what I mean? Like, I got to hear something that like I've never heard before. Something that like really is inspiring or.
But yeah, because like,
you
bro,
know, different sound or whatever.
loops ain't like. Think of Wheezy, for example. You think Wheezy just picking every... Wheezy you can literally hear the sound of like what Wheezy likes in his loops. Like, we know Wheezy ain't making most of the melodies. Most of the times they be samples in there, but like it's not like he's just picking, oh, this shit got strings. It's a dark sample. Let me throw it. Bro, them loops are real
special.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like A&R for real, for real.
So we'll go through 100. Sometimes, some nights
He's the most
this.
patient person I know with loop.
I'll be like this.
He'll go through 200 if that's what
Splice or through our loop folder. Down, you know, until I drag one in. No, I usually have the drums first. That I like just to bounce of what I'm trying to do or whatever artist I'm trying to work with, and it's like all day. I'll be sitting there. I'll be like, you know, pouring more Hennessy, just like fucking miserable. And I'll find one like, oh shit, drop it in there, and that's one of our, you know, top beats for the week. Just because you finally found that sound you were looking for that fit into the mix, you know. So it all depends.
What's crazy is that we can make 15 beats quick with some loops that are pretty good, or you take the extra hours and you find the one, and that one will make you more money.
Always the single.
That one will make you more money than 100 of your other beats. So it's like
it's usually the sonics of the sound too. You know, it'd be like a sound you never heard, a certain synth that you haven't heard. Like, you know, because you as a listener too, you're always trying to hear new sounds. Even with the 808s, like I hate when producers just put, you know, the same 808s on every beat. It's like when a listener has heard that before, like the spins or whatever. You know, everybody make fun of me. I always like get mad when people put spins on, even though it's a great 808, hits clean. It's
and
like,
we still use spins, by the way.
Yeah,
like when
Twin and them had spins on it. You know?
Twin and them has spins,
but it's like every time you put an 808 on there like that, people have heard it before. So when the drums come in, it just sounds more like a basic beat.
It sounds more like something
a YouTube
they've
beat
heard
or something. You know, like okay, this is just like a beat. But when you have an 808 that's slightly different that they never heard, it's like, well, you know, that face that people get when they, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're trying to do every time. So, shit, I'll be going through 100 808s too. People cooking up with us like, damn, can y'all just pick an 808? I'm like, no.
We'll be working with people like, yo, can we go on to the next one? He like,
nope.
You know.
Well, sound selection.
Yeah, you gotta have sound selection, you know.
So that goes to my next question. Like, give us some go-to. Y'all ain't got to give us y'all sauce, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just give us some go-to for producers that want to get those good drums and stuff. Give us like some go-to kits that you think they should cop.
Well, you know, we be going through all the kits and like picking our best sounds and putting in our own kit, you know. So we like create like our. It's like almost like making a playlist of our best shit. So a lot of times I'll do that. I'll go I'll go on like Reddit and just find drum kits and pick my
Shout
best
out
sound.
Lunch 77. Going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sounds from anything.
The same kits that everybody uses, the BWB, the shit, name them. We all know the same kits, but it's like a lot of times I'll one day just spend a whole day just finding new sounds, new drums, or whatever. I'll send the pack out to everybody that I fuck with, and just like use these,
All right, so let's switch to like the basses. Like, I be finding some good basses and kits, but like, what are some like when I say basses, I mean like the synth basses, like those little plug club synth basses. Like, what are good VSTs for basses?
I mean, we don't really use that shit that much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if we do use it, like sometimes we use Omnisphere.
Or like a, what's it called?
It's called, I think it's called cluster bass, I think on Omnisphere. I think that's what it's called.
Or Serum, or like on Serum, but I'll be honest, like, I hate
Crackle
I hate
my
beats
bad, Crackle bass, not
basses.
cluster bass.
Like, it's just kind of, to me, it's like, people have done that. People always send us loops like, don't, with a voice like, it's like, nah, we're not. That shit is so like, we're trying to like think of new ideas, so we don't really use synth bass like that, I mean, Detroit beats and shit, you can use that shit. But,
you can use some one-shot bass, that could be hard.
Yeah.
Now, the transition here, it's a record that I feel like it's kind of like underrated, but that shit fire. Before I even asked the number 2 record, y'all did the whole beat or just cause I know it's a switch up in there, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, we did. We worked on the first one.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, on the Future, the one the Future did.
Diego's boy Chambers did the second part.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy switch up. That kid is talented. So Diego found something with him. Like,
we mostly just did the guitar on the first one, to be honest. Yeah.
And the drums. Right.
Did we do?
Yeah,
and some drums. Yeah.
No, that record's dope. Like one of our favorite records too. Like, and, I mean, we never worked with Future before, so to get him on there.
And 21.
And 21 was pretty
21
crazy.
was
That was dope.
So y'all play guitar?
No, just some sounds like that we like
we
shifted.
playing shit, you know what I'm saying?
We really we can't play.
I mean, a lot of times we'll bring on instrumentalists, and like we have a bunch of our guys in LA that will come in. A lot of times we'll have sessions where they'll just start by playing stuff, and then the artist will vibe with them, and then they'll make the music, and then we'll be doing the drums. But you got to make it work. If you don't play nothing, you got to get someone to come in and play.
Ourselves, we don't play no instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say guitar. I was about to say, yes, sir. We finna get the goddamn.
Yeah, I play Splice.
Loops. Play the down arrow.
I mean, we create some simple as like the most complicated thing I could do, like Hood Babies. I would do like do.
Play single
2 notes,
finger melody.
That's about it.
One thing I ain't gonna lie, I just thought about this, but like the melody, like you gotta have a 5 progression, you gotta have a 5 melody, but like people don't really think about the bounce in the melody. You know what I mean? Like, can y'all talk about that?
Right. Sometimes the melody kind of like drums a little bit. Like it really creates that bounce. Yeah.
For us, a lot of times it's the sound. I could say the sonics of the sound that gets people to hear, like, "Ooh, I've never heard this sound before," and just it just got to hit in the right pattern. You can use. A lot of times we'll put a dope sound. You could play a melody that doesn't even matter, and you put gross beat on it. And try to fuck with it and just try to make it sound like something. And we do that too. We'll just gross beat, halftime, gross beat until we hear something that's crazy, and then it's it's something you never heard before, like what the fuck, and then you put then it makes sense.
We're trying to almost like hypnotizing sounds that really just like, because most people are smoking when they listen to these beats, so you really want to capture them with something that's really easy to listen to but special.
Yeah, it's still something they never heard before.
Yeah.
I know y'all got some stories. Folk be geeked up and like they can't even.
We've had all types of stuff. We've had sessions where every beat we play, people are like, "Oh my god!" Then we've had sessions where we're not really matching the mood, and they're just like, "Next." Yeah. You never know,
Yeah, we've had sessions where artists are geeked out. We play a beat, they record the whole song on it, and then we play beats again. He's like, "Yo, where's that other beat?" And we're like, "This one, the one you just recorded on. They forgot because on Perks or whatever. We've had all sorts of sessions.
Yeah, all the crazy shit. But like in general, you go through sessions where people really fuck with your sound. You go through sessions where you're not really matching what they're trying to do, and sometimes you got to take a step back and be mature enough to be like, I don't think I have what you need, instead of playing beats for the whole session and look embarrassing, because that could hurt your relationship too, where they're like, man, these guys are whack. And your beats are hard, but they're just not matching what they want, So sometimes you just got to be like, hey, we see what you're trying to do. Let me cook up and send you a pack next week, You got to be mature enough to like step back and go, okay, this ain't going to work tonight, Yeah,
and it's tough when like we just like together we just one producer, so like we work with artists from every different city, so like sometimes we're on like a West Coast vibe, sometimes we're on different vibes or whatever, but like then you just get an artist from some city and we haven't spent a lot of time building up the catalog on that sound or whatever, you know. So like maybe we'll cook up before the session, but like, you know, if we're not cooking up from scratch, like we don't have a lot of, you know, catalog on that sound or whatever. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out, you know.
All right, so we definitely got to talk about rest in peace to Lil Keed, but we definitely got to talk about Keed and the new joint y'all have with him.
Mm-hmm. We love working with Lil Keed. Like Lil Keed, the first thing I'll say about Lil Keed, man, he one of the nicest people, if not just artists, that we've ever met and worked with. Like he just like such a quality, nice person, man. Like he would come in and be like so respectful, like, hey, like we're doing this, like. He actually called. He called
my girlfriend Ari on her birthday, just
on
to
her
say
birthday,
happy birthday,
just to
like,
say happy birthday.
He just remembers stuff. Like,
yeah,
he was just cool, respectful. He come in, one of them guys would jump on any beat you play for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shout out Keed and Lil Got It. Like you know, it was dope to work with both of them. And you know, they're one of our favorite artists. Both of them are like coming up are our two favorite artists. Got It and Keed. We're just going crazy. We love the Atlanta sound. Love what they were doing. And it took a minute for us to work with Keed. So when we finally started locking in really like every week up until his death, like it was like all of 2022, we were just locked in at least once a week. So we have like 20, 25, 30 songs with him, you know. So 2 made the project. Hopefully some of the other ones come out. But man, it was just a good experience to like actually work with him before he passed away, you know what I mean?
I fuck with Key like in Thug like recording style. Like I just like seeing artists like different recording styles and stuff. You see how like maybe trying to meme it sometimes and stuff.
Yeah.
But bro, it's really creative.
It'd be sounding, you know, sometimes you have sessions, it'd be sounding funny, you know, you know, because there'd be a mic in the room, everybody quiet, barely saying something, but then you play it out loud, you're like, oh,
they kind of whispering on the mic sometimes, so you can't tell what it's going to be like, and then you play it out loud, and it's like, whoa, you were saying that the whole time, like, and then it's a big record, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy.
So was y'all relationship something that started off like email, or y'all met at a certain place, or
with Keed?
Yeah,
it was through. I mean, Got It. We worked with.
We knew Got It before. Yeah.
I think it was a situation too where like at first Keed was like, "Oh, that's Got It." You know, Got It. Fuck one Bankroll. So you know he was doing his own thing. So it eventually through the years we ended up he was in LA. We ended up getting to our studio. I think Sean was talking to somebody, and then we were always trying to hit him up.
He actually pulled up randomly on someone else's session.
Yeah.
So we had another session. I forgot who it was with.
Yeah.
But him and another artist pulled up, and we met him that way. Like another artist called them, like, "Hey, pull up on our session." And so then he came to our studio, and we met him that way. And then we locked in with them, and then like he fucked with what we were doing. So then
he liked the vibe of the studio.
He liked the vibe. So then we started having a session with him. So sometimes the artists, you know, helps.
That's a good thing about our studio too. It looks dope. You know, it looks like a Miami nightclub vibe. So when people come there, they want to come back. So it's like a good, I don't know, sales pitch or something too. Like, oh fuck, I want to keep coming back. You know,
and we're gonna get our own spot soon. We'll call it ProducerGrind shop. We're gonna have like merch in the front and have like our studio shit in the back.
It really does have to work for you. In terms
you got a lot
of
expenses. I mean, you got to really make money. You know, because it costs us a lot every month. But it's the most valuable thing we could have had as a studio.
Yeah, because when we have a studio, like in comparison with people's like bedroom studios or whatever, you get an artist to pull up to a bedroom studio. You know, they're going to record a few songs, and that's maybe the last time they come there, you know, like versus our studio, they record a few songs. We got the tequila, we got the candy, the aesthetic is right. It's a vibe. They want to come back every other day that week. We'll get 10, 15 songs with them, and then you know at least like 2 of them are going to make the project at that point. So like it's almost like the building is doing work for us too, like the vibe that we created, you know what I mean? So like it's important.
All right, so I'm gonna put y'all in a scenario. I kind of want to see what y'all say. I'm gonna go into like your sales stuff in here for a second. So I'm not even gonna do Atlanta. I'm gonna do LA because LA dumb expensive. I'm a producer. I'm in LA. I'm in my 20s, so I'm not in school, but I have some type of job, and I have say I have 3,000 saved up in my bank account. Kind of like give me a playbook of like what the next 6 months. What should I be doing? Like, what does that look like? And the goal of the producer is trying to land placements, trying to build relationships.
I mean,
$3,000 saved up, man.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter if anything's saved up. So basically, you have your job. Your job is paying all your bills, and you making beats and making plays on the side. If you in LA, there's so many shows every single day in LA. So after you get done with your job, you cooking up. on nights you're researching who's doing a show in your city. You're pulling up on those shows and you meeting these artists. And then when you're done with that, you go back to your job. And then the next day you cooking up more and more and more. And you just like continuing to try and deliver records for all these artists that are coming into town. Because the thing about LA is like the labels are in LA, the video shoots are in LA. So all the artists are coming to LA. Yeah. So
the award shows are in LA.
Shows in LA.
Rolling Loud comes to LA. Everybody's in LA at some point.
Yeah.
You just got to build that relationship,
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't have to like have money saved up. You just got to like spend your money wisely and you got to link with these people. And like before you build out your own studio, maybe, like you got to pull up on people. You got to like meet people.
Yeah, and we didn't have our studio really. We had a smaller studio, but our big studio was built off our publishing money that we got signed to Sony.
Yeah,
we put pretty much after taxes the whole money into our studio. So we weren't even feeling we weren't rich at all. We were in the same boat after we signed. Most people feeling wealthy after their publishing. We put it all into the studio, And that's how we really started to run the bag up. You got to invest in yourself. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, we should have pulled up on y'all in L.A., man. We was out there Grammy week.
Oh,
We was so busy,
sure.
bro. Man, we should have pulled up.
Next time, pull up. Yeah,
for sure. We definitely play another L.A. trip. Like, Grammy week was perfect. Like, everybody was there, so we was hitting them shits out, bro. 2 a day.
Yeah, yep.
All right, so we got to get into the joint project with Rucci. Talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So Rucci is one of them artists from Inglewood, the West Coast, that we had always worked with. Not always worked with. We had a song with him prior, but we didn't really know his workflow or we didn't really know him that well. So they reached out and we ended up setting up a session. And at the time when we first started a career, we were in Atlanta and Texas, and we're kind of doing that sound. So we stayed away from the West Coast a little bit because we were from the Bay, and at that time the LA music was similar to the Bay, and we were more inspired by some of the other sounds. But as we worked with guys like Kalen For Real, and we did scoring for him and Tidal Wave and some of these other songs, so, we started to really tap back into the West Coast. A lot of dope artists are coming out of there. So meeting Rucci finally when he came to the studio was like a breath of fresh air too, because he not only was a up and coming LA artist that was really doing numbers and had a lot of fans, and he was growing. He would just jump on any beat we would play, and that first night we worked with him, it was like 5 for 5. Every beat we played, he would just jump on it. It was like the first 5 beats he played, and he did every single song. We're kind of like, damn, this guy is really talented, and he really had a unique style, his voice and just the beats he picked. So after that, I was like, okay, maybe we should do a tape with him. It felt like we did a tape the first night, and then after that, it was a wrap. Yeah,
yeah. Like we never go into it like hitting someone up that we don't know. Like, let's do a tape. It's more like let's do a session. And then when he went crazy like that, like 5 for 5, and I think like at least 4 of them that night made the project.
Yeah.
It's like at that point we're like, yo, we really see something. He gave us his whole speech about like, yo, I've been seeing your studio on IG from all these different people. I've been manifesting like I'm gonna get in that studio soon. And we took that. We're like, thank you, bro.
Dope for us,
it's
man.
dope for us.
It feels
like
good if people say that.
Yeah, like we appreciated that. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna get in there one day. And he's like, now I'm here. And he went crazy that first day. And he was at a point in his career where like he's had a bunch of dope songs and dope records, but he's trying to elevate his sound. We're trying to elevate our sound, and we're trying to elevate the West Coast because that's where we're from too. So like, it was just a good fit between two people of like, we sometimes like we would rather work with people that are more experimental, that might want to do some different things, and that's absolutely what Rucci was, So he went so crazy. So we had half the tape on the first day, and then we probably spent the next like probably 3-4 months like recording the rest of the project. And like it's just something that like was such a dope experience for us because we came up just trying to do singles, one song at a time, So this was really our first chance to like really like think about a project as a whole from start to finish, how it flows, how it transitions, skits, the whole thing. So like creatively, we actually like enjoyed it a lot more, than like just doing it. Singles are dope too, but like really when you think about a project start to finish from a creative, it's like a lot more like it just feels a lot better. You know what I mean?
You know, it's even underrated. Like producers like y'all and big producers focus on this a lot, but like smaller producers like me and other guys, we focus on Ola Baby, Coil Ray.
That's a good
But
point.
we don't really. There's a whole web of like small artists out there who got shit. They fired in the on the Rap Caviar playlist, you know, but we don't
biggest
think
singles
about that.
will always be from an up and coming artist.
Yeah.
Very rare. I mean, you see guys catching big ones with big artists. You're like, damn, you know, they
good for them.
Maybe not lucky is the right word, but you know, lucky. You know, like they put in the work, but they got lucky with that. But you really, you know, all of our biggest songs have come from up and coming artists. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a good point. Like someone like Rucci, who I think is pretty established in LA, but for us, it's like, okay, we are at a peak right here. I think he's at a peak right here, and we're trying to break through too. You know, we're following like Metro and Hit Boy steps of like they're making these masterpiece albums. I think we did the same thing with Rucci, and since we're from the West Coast, you know, we were paying homage to like the old Dre, Snoop albums, and kind of like the whole album flows together. We got funny skits in there, you know, that are short, but like set the tone and really just he's telling the story front to back, and it's like a journey going through the whole album. So it's something that we haven't done before and that we're going to keep doing, and we really want to take some of these artists to the next level because every artist got a story to tell, and I think a lot of times they don't really get a chance to tell it when they're working with so many different producers, and every song is just whatever they're feeling that night. This was like a planned album where he really is telling his life story, you know?
Yeah, and from us too, it's like when you are just one song at a time, like we used to be, like these labels, they don't believe in you to be able to do a full project. So the fact that Rucci believed in us and we believed in him, like, and we collaborated on this, like we trying to prove to everyone like what we can do as creatives, and we trying to go up from here. Like we trying to keep doing projects with all different kind of artists. A lot of them are going to be West Coast because we really trying to like turn up our city too, you know what I mean? But like we trying to work with a lot of different people, do full projects, and just really like build things from front to back.
Yeah, but I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm like sleep on West Coast artists and the whole West Coast culture. But when I went out there and did the interviews Grammy week, Mike and Keys, we did an interview with him, and he was talking about how like Nip came to them and just gave them full faith and was like, man, let's do this project.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even doing the interview with Hit Boy, I just kind of want to dive into like the West Coast culture and those artists and that type of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think Nip and Kendrick obviously set the tone that you could be from any city and make a masterpiece. You know, it doesn't have to be West Coast. Any artist could do what they did, but they really set the standard. Like, yo, if you want to be a classic artist, you got to at least do music like this. So I think you've seen so many waves in the West Coast over the years, but, you know, the Draco movement and things really kind of brought a sound to the city again that was dope. I mean, obviously Mustard in the past brought a sound to the city. So there's always, you know, we always going through waves and everything, but I think now at this point we're just trying to create our own space in the West Coast legacy. You know what I mean? Like we're really just trying to be like, okay, we want Bankroll to go down as one of the best West Coast, you know, especially because we're born in California. When we say West Coast, it could be the Bay, it could be LA, it could be anywhere. You know, it's just like we're trying to make our spot and just set the tone that we can make masterpiece albums for these artists, just like Kendrick and Nip and other artists have. You know what I mean? So that's our goal right now, and so we're doing it with Rucci. Hopefully, we love to do some more artists. We're going to see who our next project will be with. But, you know, I hope when people hear the Rucci album, they're like, damn, like, this shit's not just an album with a bunch of songs on it. This shit flows front to back. You kind of feel like you're riding through LA when you're listening to it. It goes through, like, the waves of, like, the street shit, the party shit. And even towards the end, he's talking about his kid and just his relationship with his dad and everything. He's just really telling his life front to back. And I think a lot of artists still haven't done that in their career. They're you know, if they feel vulnerable, they're not speaking on everything they could talk about. Everybody has an interesting story, and I think with these projects, we want everybody to spill everything that they need to talk about because the fans relate to that, you know?
Yeah, and we're a little older, you know, so like we grew up on everything from Aftermath to like, you know,
the Death Row days.
Like we were little kids when that came out, so like
not NWA. We're
not that old, but like like we're kind of tapping into like what we grew up on, which maybe some of the younger kids like are more just tapped into what's more current. Like our favorite records growing up was really like Dre and Scott Storch, and like those records was really like our favorites, you know?
That was crazy because even though like if I didn't see who y'all was today and just going off your sound, I would have thought y'all was just someone from like Houston or in Atlanta.
Even most people think we're like from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Some people be like, yo, I thought y'all had like, we're black and had face tats and whatnot. And I was just laughing like, yeah, you can only wish, but that's what we look like, you know what I mean? Like,
it is what it is.
it's what God gave us. So,
like,
but we try to make it work, man. We respect people, fuck with us. We try to make the music speak. We try to understand each city's sound and try to make sure that we do the best for the artists that we can. We're just trying our best. You know what I mean? And people fuck with us, and we appreciate that.
So a good note to end this interview on, and we already kind of talked about it in the beginning, but I just feel like someone needs to hear this, is how y'all was talking about y'all age again. Because some producers, y'all know how people get caught up in like IG. You see this 16-year-old, he just posted his plaque, and you're goddamn 28, 27, or even in your 30s, and you're like, fuck. And then one thing I feel like, I'm not even gonna call them old producers. I'm gonna say OG producers that have been doing this for over a decade. You might get caught up in as producers, we supposed to know we're not making music for the day, we're making music for tomorrow. So we're not. I feel like some OG producers be stuck in like. I'm trying to be careful what I say because I don't want those niggas to get salty.
They know what worked in the past and they like.
They'll how do I describe beats? Old ass beats that ain't a 2010 beat or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of want y'all to talk about that, just being a producer that could kind of move with the sound but still have your own shit, and just talk about like not letting age or how long y'all been doing it kind of like fuck out.
I think the thing from the beginning is like, man, you take 2 months off and you're behind. Like things move so fast these days, so you really got to be paying attention. You
got to stay in the trenches every day.
You got to travel. I mean, I'll be honest, you got to travel too. Like you got to be with people. You got to like be in the studio. I think a lot of producers that send beats from their laptop, I think it's great these days that you can even certain loop producers that you can be from Europe or something and sending packs out and making placements. You're a great musician, is dope, but you really got to travel and be within the people, because they're going to show you what's the next hot artist and what sounds are popping up. You always got to be following the trends, and you got to understand like each city has its own unique sound. You got to understand why. I think a lot of producers are on YouTube and they're just like, oh, this is a Little Durk type beat, but like, why is it a Little Durk type beat? You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand where it comes from, because your beats will display whether or not you understand or not. Like, we're not going to New York and making drill beats and going into each region of New York and playing the same shit, because they each have their own different unique sound. You know what I mean? Even each part of New York has its own unique sound. And we don't understand that, so we're not trying to do that.
Or like Latin beats or something. Like
that's real gym though, because like bro, people be like, bro, it's just hi hats and 808s. No, bro,
not.
It's a difference between a Wheezy beat and it's a difference between Southside. It's a difference between Metro. It's a difference between Take Keith.
A lot of producers, and probably even us at some points, but a lot of producers I think have gone into the room thinking they're playing the hardest shit, and the artist hears that they don't get it. They think they get it because they're copying a beat, but they don't have that exact sauce that the city has. You know what I mean? So they'll be like, all right, yo, you're hard, and they'll cut something, but they'll never brought back again. They don't understand why. It's because you really got to understand. You got to move. You got to be in the city. You just got to feel the environment. And you got to be in the studio and watch the friends of the artist and see what they like. Ask them, who's your favorite artist? They'll play you some new shit that you never heard about before. And you're like, damn, and you get inspiration from the new sound. That's just how you got to keep moving. So if you take a break, you can catch up, but like a lot of older producers will take a break. 1 year is a whole different sound from the last year, so you really got a lot of catching up to do.
But shit, y'all, that's another episode of the, I ain't gonna say podcast, man. This is Drink Champs with Bankroll Got It. The Hennessy going.
You can have the rest.
I only had like 5% of this, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
In there,
Yo, they got the big bottle. But anyways, man, I want to appreciate y'all for hopping on here, man. We didn't get Mimi on here. She gonna be mad as fuck when she see this. She gonna be like, damn, man. They came on here was spitting gems and I won't even know. Like, she gonna be super mad.
It's a life lesson for her.
Don't get sick. Don't get sick.
She's sick.
Nah, but definitely when we come to LA, man, I'm gonna hit y'all up for sure. For sure.
Pull up, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you for having us, man.
I appreciate y'all for flying out here, bro. Like, I'll be on the move. That's already. Like, me was saying, they waiting for, let me know the day, so they trying to get the ticket. I'm like, oh damn, let me.
This is gonna be our first published interview with showing ourselves. It'd be nice to us, with the clips, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
With that being said, man, that's another episode of the podcast, man. We got Bankroll Got It. Man, I know this is dumb as hell, but what was the names, like the actual names again? Or
Joel Banks, Taylor Banks.
There we go. We got the Banks, man. I fought the Banks in high school, y'all. But we gonna cut it.